Hey there. Is your marriage suffering from the pleasure gap? Well, if it is, this may explain why you're not having as much fun in the bedroom as you would like. I'm Leslie Dories, your marriage coach, creator of the Hero Husband Project, and owner of Foundations Coaching. And this gap between men and women is really, really big. Anywhere from 30 percentage points to 50 percentage points. And what I'm talking about by the pleasure gap is how often you have an orgasm when you're being intimate with your partner. Now, men tend to have anywhere from, mid 80s to high 90s, meaning that they have an orgasm pretty much every time they're intimate. Women, on the other hand, can be quite a bit lower. And there are some reasons for this. Um, it usually takes a woman a little bit longer to warm up, to be ready to be intimate. And sometimes a good friend of mine who's an intimacy coach says 30 to 45 minutes of actively engaging with the woman in an intimate way to get her ready. And most of the time, that's not how much time's allotted. If you're like a lot of couples, your intimacy time is at the end of a long day when you've climbed into bed together. And 30 to 45 minutes of pre stuff, foreplay, can seem like an eternity. And it can actually be worse if she's tired because, again, the body doesn't necessarily want to function really well. And it also can be, if it takes a long time, then a lot of women can feel like, oh my gosh, I'm making him wait so long. This is so hard. And the minute she does that, the minute she gets into her head, extends the time. And so this is a real issue. And if it's happening in your marriage, it can be really hard. There's an expression that in neurobiology that nerves that fire together wire together, which means if she's not having a, an orgasm, a real pleasurable experience around your intimacy, then what happens is that she's stopping relating this activity with something that feels good. And guess what? This now makes it even harder, right? So part of this is really allowing time. Now, in some cases, and I wouldn't say all the time, maybe she can get herself het up. But that's actually, and I'm going to be talking about that kind of desire and how that functions in another post. But this is a real thing. And a lot of times she needs something more than standard sex. Okay, she needs some other kind of stimulation. And and like I said, this is a real challenge for people. And if this is what's going on in your household, I invite you to take a step back and really pay attention to what's happening. Now, she may say that it's okay with her, and on occasion, it probably is. But if that ratio for her isn't a lot more common, then it just becomes another chore on her to-do list. And it doesn't mean she doesn't love you. She does love you. But, these things build on each other. And also, by the way, if your relationship isn't in a great place, then you might be using the quantity, how often you're engaging in intimacy with your wife versus what's actually happening, right? I've had a couple of clients that have rated their relationship that as long as we're having sex, everything's okay. And if the sex is okay or even good, then everything's fine. And that may not be true, especially if she isn't experiencing the same level of pleasure. So If this is something that's happening or you just want some more information about it, then I invite you to get in touch with me. You can send me an email at Lesli, Lesli, at foundationscoachingnc.com. You can put a direct message, you can direct message me, you can put a comment in the section below. If you found this interesting, please let me know. Please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. And this is something that you don't want to wait about, because the longer it happens, is remember those nerves that fire together, wire together? We don't want people to think about being intimate with their partners as something that they have to do or something that they have to put up with. We want you to enjoy it. So please get in touch with me. And until next week, stay loving.